Hey guys, Ant here from Muff Squad, back again with another vid. This time doing something a little different, showing some old format stuff. Me and a friend of mine, James Gillespie, started a Discord with some old format tournaments, and I'm gonna post a link to the Discord in the description below. But check it out. Hope you guys join if you guys are interested in playing some old formats. Please join. It's a good time. We usually play webcam, but we're open to TCG 1, PTCGO as well. Proxies are allowed since the older cards are kind of pricey. But yeah, we just want to play some old formats and just get people playing it. But this is actually round 1 of our current ongoing 2006 format. So I'm on the left. I'm playing Arcanine EX, which that's what he does. And my opponent on the right is playing a Dark Tyranitar, which is also known as PowTar. So the premise of his deck is to attack with this guy, the Dark Tyranitar, but he powers it up with the Electrode EX, which is this card. Electrode EX says pretty much you can kill itself, which gives your opponent 2 prizes, and then find 5 energies from your discard and put it on your board any way you like. So then you just want to power up 2 of these T-Tars and then use Bite Off, which is like obliterate your opponent's EX Pokemon, which I am playing an Arcanine EX that has exactly 120 HP. So we're going to go ahead and set up here. I'm going first, and in 2006 rules, whoever goes first does not draw a card, but they can attach an energy, attack, and use trainer cards, but no supporters. So I do attach a fire to my Growlithe, and I use Body Slam, which is a colorless and does 10 damage, and if heads, I paralyze. So I'd use Body Slam for 10, putting my opponent's Magmar paralyzed. So my opponent does get the Magmar start, and he does have that Larvitar on the bench, so I can see him starting to probably wants to start powering up that Larvitar, and right on cue, he does attach a special Dark to that Larvitar. He's going to play a Professor Elm's Training Method, which is a supporter card that says that you can search your deck for an evolution Pokemon and put it to your hand. He's going to go ahead and grab that Dark Pupitar to evolve that Larvitar next turn. So, yeah, like the strategy to his deck, like I mentioned, was just, get energies in your discard, pop the Electrode EX, and power up 2 T-Tars to take your final prizes and just destroy your opponent's EX Pokemon. So he doesn't get the pieces out for the Electrode, it looks like. I guess he didn't have like a Holland Mentor to find some basics. So he's off to a slow start, but he's just optimizing to just start setting up and getting a T-Tar online here. I'm pretty sure that's pretty much going to be like what he does for the remainder of this turn, because he is paralyzed. So he does just pass. I have a Growlithe. So my deck plays Arcanine EX and a Houndoom. So Houndoom is a Pokemon that has a Pokemon body that if I have less Pokemon in play, my opponent cannot play trainer cards. So it's pretty much like Vileplume, like it's an item lock, because trainer cards are kind of like items in this format. So if I just want to get like an Arcanine fully loaded and maybe 2, and then a Houndoom, and just like lock my opponent's trainer cards, and then just Overrun, which does 30. Arcanine's Overrun does 30 to the active and 20 to a bench, and then just set up like good math and then take out big knockouts with Flame Swirl or double knockouts with Overrun. So my turn, I TV reporter for 3 cards, I discard a fire energy, I attach a Holland's Voltorb, which in this format can be played as a basic Pokemon, or it could be actually attached to a Pokemon as a colorless energy. So I use it as a colorless energy just because it's searchable with Dual Ball. So I attach it to the Arcanine. I play a Battle Frontier, which says that all Pokemon's evolved Dark, Metal, and colorless Pokemon cannot use their Pokemon powers. So it's kind of irrelevant in this matchup, but yeah, I play that just to get it out of my deck. I use Body Slam again, my Paralyzed. Now on my turn going back, I use Dual Ball. My opponent does get a Scramble Energy online, which Scramble Energy is very, very good. If you're behind on prizes, it becomes 3 rainbows. So it's 3 of energy type all at the same time if you're behind on prizes. So it just accelerates his Dark T-Tar for his costly attacks, and it just kind of does those attacks in 2 attachments. So I use dual ball. I get 1 heads. I get the Houndour to start setting up the Houndoom here. I play a TV reporter. I draw 3. I have to discard a card here. Let's see what I end up discarding. I discard a switch. Now, I do attach. I guess I didn't get the Arcanine EX. So I do attach a fire to the Houndour, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and use Body Slam again. And I roll, and I get a 3rd heads in a row. So he's paralyzed with 30 damage. Magmar has 70 HP, so he has 40 HP remaining. My opponent gets the Dark T-Tar online. He's going to attach a Holland FF. Now, what that card says is if you also have a basic fire energy attached to that Pokemon along with the Holland FF, that Pokemon has no weakness, so very good. And then my opponent's going to go ahead and play Rocket's Admin, which is pretty much the modern N, like N from more recent formats and expanded. It's the same concept where both players shuffle their hands into their deck and then draw up to how many cards they have, prize cards remaining. The one drawback that it has from current N is that you can choose how many you want to draw up to. So for example, my opponent has 6 prizes. He can choose to draw up to 6 or less. He doesn't have to take the 6. It's good because like how sometimes you could end somebody to make them draw their whole deck late game. In this format, you can kind of avoid that and prevent that because you can draw up to how many you have. So we're both going to draw and shuffle up and then draw 6 because we're both at 6 prizes. My opponent can't do anything with this active Pokemon, so I think he's going to go ahead and pass, and I'm going to draw for turn. So the Magmar has 40 HP remaining. I do evolve into a Arcanine EX, so my Arcanine is live. So I'm going to go ahead and play a TV Reporter, draw 3, and then I also have to discard a card. Let's see what I discard off of this TV Reporter. I'm going to go ahead and discard a Battle Frontier, the stadium that is currently in play. It's irrelevant in this matchup. So I do bench Apom. Apom is very good. Apom has a snappy move Pokemon power where it says you can put him on the bottom of your deck and then you can draw a card. So very, very good. It's very good because you can just see a card, dual ball gets it just to see a card, and also very good in conjunction with Swoop Teleporter. Now Swoop Teleporter is kind of like a modern Ninja Boy where you can take a basic on your board and swap it with a basic in your deck. So to activate Houndoom's Trainer Lock body, I can remove some of my extra bench Pokemon that I want to get out of play into an Apom and then send it back into the deck, freeing up a bench spot, causing the lock to come into play. So I go ahead and I just use Overrun for 30 damage, putting 20 damage on the bench T-Tar. And now my opponent, I remember this turn. So this Magmar has 10 HP remaining. So my opponent attaches a special dart to the bench, and now he's going to play his own Swoop Teleporter and swap this Magmar, discards the Magmar, and puts a Wishing Star Jirachi that has 60 HP, which knocks that out, forcing me to take a prize, forcing him to go behind on prizes, activating the Scramble switch, and now he's able to use Bite Off for 120 damage with 2 special dark energies. It does 140 damage, one-shotting my Arcanine EX, putting himself at 4 prizes. And now that was a really good play. I mean, he has only 1 Pokemon, but this Dark T-Tar with 100 HP and fully loaded is just a huge threat to me. I actually do have a potential of one-shotting him and winning the game because he does not have any bench Pokemon. If I could somehow find a Swoop Teleporter, turn this Houndour into a Growlithe, evolve it into an Arcanine EX, and then attach a Fire Energy, I do 100 damage to use Flame Swirl, and then I will knock out the 100 HP Dark T-Tar in play. I don't have those pieces, so I'm going to go ahead and play the Rocket's Admin. And we both shuffle up. He's going to draw 4, and I'm going to draw 5. And let's see if I can get those 3 cards from this 5-card hand that I see. Again, I would need a Swoop Teleporter, a Arcanine EX, and a Fire Energy. Very, very going to be tough to draw these cards. 3 specific cards I need. Let's see what I can pull off here. Otherwise, I do need to find a bench Pokemon because then he can just use Bite Off to kill me. He would have to attach one energy to do 70 damage. And okay, I do find 2 bench. I bench a Houndour. I bench a Apalm. I use Snappy Move to just draw 1 card here. I do bench a Wishing Star Jirachi. That's good. I don't know if I can just retreat into... Do I manually retreat into this thing to just use Wishing Star to see 5 card? Now, Wishing Star is kind of like Stellar Wish Jirachi from Modern Era, but instead of taking a trainer card from your top 5, you can take any card. So, very good card. It puts itself to sleep after you use the Pokemon power as well, like the new Jirachi. But, so I go ahead and use a War Point here. So, I'm going to go switch into that Wishing Star Jirachi. I'm going to use its ability. I'm going to look at the top 5. You don't have to, when you use Wishing Star in this format, you don't have to show your opponent what you grabbed because it says take a card from the top 5. You do have to show your opponent when you use Stellar Wish because it specifically says you can only take a trainer card. So you have to show your opponent that you actually took a trainer card. But in this format, since it says take a card, you don't have to show. I just show my opponent that I grab a Lapras. I didn't have to show him that, but Lapras in this format is like Jirachi EX and Tapu Lele GX. It just has a Pokemon power where when you bench it, you can search your deck for a supporter card and put it to your hand. So I'm going to save that for my following turn. I flip for sleep and I wake up and end my turn. Now my opponent draws for turn. He's going to play a Holland's Adventurer. Now the Holland supporters, you have to discard a card to use them, and Holland Adventurer says when you discard a card, you can draw 3 cards. But if you discard a Delta Pokemon, you can draw 4 cards. So he discards an Electrode EX, which he's looking like he's not going to use for the rest of the game. So he's already got a setup, and he's already too far ahead. So he benches a Soul Rock just to survive. He benches a Holland FF, which is irrelevant to that. And then he's going to use... I think he's just deciding on... I think he's also looking up how much HP does Houndoom have. He's just setting up... He wants to do math in his head to see what he can do. And TCG has second attack for Darkening Colors is Spinning Tail, which does 20 damage to all of my Pokemon. So since he has 2 special darks on the active, it would do 40 to the active and then 20 to everything. So as of right now, since Scramble isn't live, he can only do Grind, and Grind would do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. It would do 70, and Spinning Tail would do 40 to the active and 20. So he does announce Spinning Tail, so he's doing 40 to my active and 20 to my bench. I'm going to go ahead on my turn, draw for turn. I need to get an Arcanine online fast, so I do need a Swoop Teleporter to get rid of that one Houndour with the 2 energies just to turn, and I do get the Swoop this turn, so that Houndour will become a Growlithe, and now I'm just a little bit closer to setting up that into a Arcanine. I would need to still attach to do Flame Swirl, and I still have to retreat. I only play 1 War Point and 1 Switch, and I've used them both already. I used War Point to switch into the Jirachi to use my first Wishing Star, and I got rid of a switch from a TV reporter, my first TV reporter. So I'm going to go ahead and play POW Hand Extension, and POW Hand Extension is huge. You can only play it when you're behind, and it has 2 options. You could either gust up a Pokemon, kind of like a Lysander, or you can move an energy from their active to a bench. So I'm going to take off that special dark energy, move it to the Soul Rock, which now it becomes a dead card on that Soul Rock because you don't get the +10 because he's not a dark Pokemon. I'm going to go ahead and play Rocket's Admin. I grab the Admin off of the Lapras Pokemon power. We're going to shuffle up. I draw 5, he draws 4. I still haven't used my Wishing Star as well, so I could see an additional 5 cards and take a card from there. I do need to evolve that Growlithe into an Arcanine as well. I get the Houndoom online. So now, I mean, I still have more Pokemon in play, but the Houndoom, if I have less Pokemon in play, he cannot play trainer cards. So that is there for when the time comes. I could get the lock going, but as of right now, I think I still have a Stellar Wish. I wonder if I do Stellar Wish. When I look at the top 5, I get to take a card here. I don't show my opponent what I grab. I'm going to shuffle, and then that's just probably going to end my turn. I'm just going to flip to see if I'm still asleep or awake, and then it's off to my opponent's turn. So do I have an energy attachment on this Arcanine? I do. So Arcanine's Pokemon body says Fire Enemy. If I attach an energy, I heal 1 counter and a special condition. So this goes to 1 damage counter. having 110 remaining. I play a second POW hand extension. I'm going to get that second special dark off the active onto that Soul Rock, which is really good because now this T-Tar cannot use Spinning Tail or Bite Off currently. It does need to get the dark energies. So now he can only attack. He just has 2 colorless attached because Scramble is offline. He only has 2 colorless energy attached to this dark T-Tar. He can only use Grind for 30 damage currently. So it's very good. The POWs playing that turn. And I just flipped first to see if I awake, and I do awake, and I end my turn. My opponent does draw a card. Let's see what he does here on his turn. He benches a Wishing Star. He's going to manually retreat 2 energies to go into that Jirachi, and he's going to use the Wishing Star to take a card off of his top 5. So by him discarding 2 energies over that T-Tar leads me to think that Rocket's admin gave him a really bad hand, because he's willing to discard 2 energies off of that to grab a card. So most likely it was a really bad hand that he saw of that admin. So taking energies off of the T-Tar, and also, I mean, I don't know if it's that bad because he's also preserving that T-Tar on the bench. He won't take any hits. He's probably anticipating me bringing up the Arcanine next turn, manually retreating my Jirachi, and then using Flame Swirl to take the knockout. So it doesn't really hurt him too bad right now. It lets him see a card and also preserve his Dark T-Tar. The Soul Rock is just a dead card right now on his board with 3 energies on it. Energies he probably won't see unless he gets knocked out and he brings it back with Electrode EX. But he does bench another Larvitar, attach a special dark to that one, and he's going to play Holland Last. He discards a Scramble energy, and Holland Last says you count both players' remaining prize cards. You look at that many cards off the top of your deck, and you take as many energy cards as you see in those cards and put it to your hand. So he has 4, I have 5, that's 9 cards. He looks at the top 9 and takes whatever energy cards there is there and puts it to his hand. So in this case, he finds a basic fire and a Scramble energy. So again, the Holland supporter is having good synergy with Dark T-Tar because it supporter cards allows you to see cards, and also it allows you to put energies in your discard so you can use Electrode for early or late game. So he just sleeps to sleep checks for the Jirachi and ends his turn. I'm going to go ahead and draw for turn. He's still asleep. I'm going to manually attach this Jirachi, manually retreat. And I'm going to go ahead and use Overrun here. So Jirachi is weak to fire. He has 60 HP. Overrun does take the knockout. I'm going to put the 20 onto the Larvitar, putting myself at 4 prizes. He's at 4. We're both tied. There's no room for shenanigans on either side of the board's part. He can't use like POW hand extensions. He can't use Scramble energies. Either can I. I can't use POWs. So right now it's an even board. But let's see how it plays out. So he does promote the Larvitar that has 20 damage on it and a special dark. So my opponent's going to go ahead and play Holland's Mentor, discards a fire for playing it, and then he's going to get to search his deck to grab 3 basic Pokemon and put it to his hand. Very good setup card. Again, great synergy with this deck because you discard a card to play, and it's just a way to get energies into your discard. So let's see what 3 basics he grabs out of his deck. He's also just thinning out his deck, probably just grabbing 3 basics just to get cards out of his deck into his hand that he doesn't want to draw into. Now, see what he does here. What 3 Pokemon does he eye up? He grabs a Lunatone, a Delta Larvitar, and a Voltorb. So those are the 3 Pokemon. Okay, he could set up a Larvitar on the bench and another Voltorb and then Electrode to set up a fully come out of nowhere and set up another T-Tar if he gets it online with a bunch of energies and scrambles that are already in his discard. So that could be very good. And then he just cleans my remaining Arcanines that whatever Arcanines I bring out, he just one-shot. So he's trying to stabilize his board here and recover some of the energies that he's already lost. So he could attack with his Larvitar and just do 10 damage because it's a colorless attack. He doesn't get the extra 10 damage from the special dark because he's not a dark Pokemon. But I do like this play. He attaches a Scramble to his Dark T-Tar on the bench, and he just hits me for 10 damage. Now this is very good because he's anticipating the knockout here. Overrun, so it does 30 damage, right? I would then Overrun takes the knockout on the active and then puts me at 3 prizes, which puts him behind. So then he could just promote the TCG, and if he finds another scramble energy, he attaches it, and then he just one-shots my Arcanine. So this is a very good play on my opponent's part, just by sacrificing this this Larvitar here. It was kind of perfect math. I put 20 on it with Overrun on the turn before, so it's like perfect math. Really good heads-up play on my opponent's part. I don't want a Flame Swirl, obviously. I don't need to do 100 damage and discard 2 energy, so Overrun is my only option here. So I'm going to go ahead and I have to just take the knockout here. I'm probably just going to Overrun, which I do, and I put the 20 onto Dark TCG, I believe. Let's see where I put the 20. Yeah, I put it on the Dark TCG. I go down to 3 prizes. So if he finds a scramble here, he can just bite off for 120 damage, because it says 70, but if I'm an EX, it does 50 more damage, so 120. It would just knock me out. Let's see if he could find the scramble here on this turn. This would be a huge turn. If he could just... Okay, he doesn't. He's instead just going to use Spinning Tail and do 20 to everything, which is a really good play as well. He kills that bench Jirachi that had 40 HP on it. He's going to go down to 3 prizes. We're both at 3. This is good for me as well, because it clears my board for one less Pokemon, and now scrambles offline. So now I can one-shot this T-Tar. I can use Flame Swirl and get rid of it, but I do lose 2 energies off of my active. So Flame Swirl does 100 damage, which would kill the T-Tar. And I'm going to go ahead and use Swoop, get rid of that Lapras and turn it into an Aipom. As I mentioned before, Aipom has great synergy with Swoop in this deck, so I'm going to go ahead and use Snappy Move, get rid of the Pokemon and add damage. I get to see a card as well from that. So now Houndoom's ability is online. I have less Pokemon in play. I evolved my bench Growlithe into an Arcanine. I'm trying to stabilize. If I could get an energy attachment on that Arcanine, then I'd be in really good shape here. So I'm going to go ahead and play Dual Ball. You flip 2 coins. For each head, you can search your deck for a basic Pokemon. I get 2 heads here, and I grab Lapras and Aipom. So there was actually kind of a ruling we had here. I wasn't unfamiliar with the Snappy move, the Aipom's ruling, so you can only use it once per turn. So I already had used it this turn, and I just grabbed it again with Dual Ball, and I used it again right there. But he mentioned that you can only use it once per turn, because specifically the power says that you can only use 1 Snappy move per turn. So I kind of thought it was like Propagate, where, you know, if you use it and you put it into, it kind of refreshes, because you can't technically prove that it was the same execute. But specifically with Snappy Move, it says you can only use it once. Even if you play 4 Aipoms, you can only use 1 Snappy Move per turn anyway. So my opponent's calling me out on that right now. We quickly realized that he was correct on that. So luckily this was easily reversible, since you just draw a card and there's no shuffling. I just take back the Aipom from the bottom of my deck, and I put back the card I drew, which was a Curse Stone. And so that's easily reversible. So I just leave the Aipom in my hand and reverse. I put the Curse Stone back on top of my deck right there. And then, so yeah, I play the Lapras to use the support navigation, which searches my deck for a supported card. I'm going to go ahead and search my deck for a TV reporter, and I'm looking to play that this turn as well. So kind of dumb that I played that Lapras there right now, because now Houndoom's Lonesome Pokebody is now not in effect, because we're both have the same amount of Pokemon. So kind of dumb. I did get the Fire Energy on the Arcanine, so that's good that I'm able to start setting this up. It does heal a counter on that as well, so he goes to 1. And I'm going to go ahead and use Flame Swirl for 100 damage, discard 2 energies, and go down to 2 prizes. But I think this was, looking back, I think this was a very bad play. That was a very, very greedy play on my part. I could have just easily not benched the Lapras, kept the 3 energies, and just overrun him to death. He had a scramble on the active T-Tar. It's not live. It's just a colorless Pokemon. He would have needed 2 more attachments to start doing some serious damage, or even more attachments to use Bite Off. So by me overrunning several turns and taking possibly multiple knockouts was the way to go. By me losing 2 energies just to take 1 prize, and already me running dangerously low on energies was a terrible move on my part. Very greedy, very bad move. So in hindsight, looking back at this match, that was a very bad play on my part. I should have just kept overrunning, but I got greedy. I was poorly mismanaging my energies. I just went down. I'm going down to 2 prizes. I mean, I assumed he doesn't really have a board set up right now. He has no energies on his bench. What can he do? So why not take the prize? So he quickly promotes Dark Pupitar, evolves, but see, he plays these stall tactics later in the game, which is great on his part. As you can notice, I have a benched Growlithe right there, and that was my biggest misplay of this game. And right now I just played a Pokemon Professor Elm's training method to grab a evolution Pokemon, and I evolved that Growlithe on my bench into a Arcanine. There was no need for me to get a 3rd Growlithe or a 3rd Arcanine on my board. Now this is what I think cost me the game, because I evolved that Growlithe right now. As you can see, Arcanine has a 2 retreat cost. His deck plays 4 POW hand extensions. So if he gusts that up, I have to attach to this Pokemon now to retreat or to attack, costing me now. And mind you, at this point in the game, I specifically remember I only have 3 energies in my deck and I have 1 prize. So I have 3 energies in like access right now. I have access to 3 energies. So if he does bring up that Arcanine on my bench, which is very possible because he is behind on prizes and he's only played 1 POW. Actually, I don't think he's played any POWs. And I have to attach 2 of my 3 energies, meaning that I'm never going to Flame Swirl for the rest of the game. If I have 3 energies and I attach 2 to the bench one, and then he just POWs something else up, I'm screwed. So, huge misplay on my part for bringing that 3rd Arcanine out. And I specifically remember at this point, he even asked me, what's Arcanine's retreat cost? So, excuse me, I know he was already eyeing that up. That he's just going to bring that up and buy him a couple turns. So, now I'm on a clock. I have to draw into these energies, at least put pressure on with overruns. So, he asked me, he had a 5-card hand at this point, and he asked me how much retreat cost. So, I admin him. I'm like, you know what? Let's just admin him 3. I'll take my odds. Maybe he won't draw the POW. So, and I also need to see fire energies, so I have to play this admin now. So I'm going to go ahead and look for 2 cards here. I need a fire energy, at least overrun, and I need him not to hit POW. I do get the fire energy off of 2 cards, which is good. I heal 1, so I should be at 30 damage because of my the fire remedy Pokebody. Yeah, I'm going to go to 3. The T-Tar currently has 30 damage on him, so he's going to go up, I put 30 on it for overrun, and I put 20 on that Voltorb. That Voltorb is never going to become an Electrode at this point, because if he pops Electrode, I just win the game, right? Because he gives up 2 prizes for that. And right on cue, he draws the POW off the admin. He brings up the naked Arcanine. He's going to attach a heal energy, heal 1. He's at 20 damage currently, and he's just going to use Grind for 20 damage. So now this is huge. Now, with I attached this energy. I only have 1 energy in deck now. I had 3. I had played 2 already, so now I have 1. So, as you can see, I'm in a terrible spot now. He just uses Grind for 20 damage again, and at this point, I'm just draw passing. I just have to find fire energies, and he hits Grind again. I draw, I pass. So he draws for turn. Again, he's just putting pressure on me. He could just constantly hit for 20 damage. He could grind for 20. Grind says 10 plus 10 for each energy on that Dark Pupitar. So he's just putting tremendous pressure here. Yeah, so again, I have 1 more energy in deck. If I attach it to the active, then I can never Flame Swirl with my other Arcanine. So I'm in a very tough position. I don't know what to do. So I also have 1 fire in my prizes. So if I could somehow manage to take a prize, I have a 50% chance of taking my last energy off the prizes. So I could at least Flame Swirl for the game, because I could kill anything on his field with a Flame Swirl. So again, he just keeps grinding, putting 20 damage on me, applying pressure on me. I'm in a very tough position here. I have to hit the last energy in my deck. And then I also, if I can manage to overrun and kill the Voltorb on the bench to take a prize, that would have to be a fire energy in order for me to win this game. Again, 1 energy in deck, 1 in prizes. That's all. I can't attack with the current, with the active Arcanine. So again, he just grinds here. I'm gonna put my Arcanine at 90 damage with 30 HP remaining. I draw for turn. Let's see what I do here. I bench a Growlithe. I'm gonna go ahead and play a Swoop. Probably gonna become an Apom. Just thin out my deck for admins. It just gets rid of the Swoop and the Growlithe out of my deck, and I get to see a card, +1 card off of the Snappy move as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably use Snappy move to see the card. Again, looking for fire energy. Desperately need a fire energy. I do find my last fire energy. I heal the 1 counter due to the Fire Remedy Pokebody. I'm going to do 30 to the active, putting it at 50, and putting that Voltorb at 40. Voltorb has 10 HP remaining, so if I could get 1 more overrun, I could get a prize and possibly get my last energy off of the prizes to win. Because a Flame Swirl, regardless if he knocks out my active, I mean, if he does play another POW, then I lose. POW loses me the game regardless, because if he brings up the Houndoom, it has a 1 retreat cost, but I can't even attack with it. If I have to burn the energy to retreat, then I'm never Flame Swirling. So POW kind of screws me regardless, but we'll just see here what happens here. I'm at 80 HP. A grind currently would hit for 20, which would put me at 100 HP with 20 remaining. So let's see what he does here. Very close game though. It's down to the wire because he doesn't necessarily have a backup option right now. He's never going to Electrode, so he mainly has to set up another Stage 2 Dark T-Tar and attach several energies to it to still be in the game. So he does bench the Lunatone, which now he has the Lunatone Soul Rock combo, and they both have a body if they're both in play. Your opponent's fire and colorless Pokemon do not have Pokemon power, so it would stop my Snappy move right now. So I don't have access to Snappy move for the rest of the game. So he does attach a basic fire, so now grind would hit for 30 damage, putting my Arcanine at 110 HP, which would have 10 HP remaining. So I'm going to go ahead and draw for turn. Okay, so he didn't find the POW there, so Overrun is going to take the knockout on Voltorb, putting me at 1 prize. And if I could rip this fire energy, I might have a shot in this game. Overrun would put, so I'm going to admin him to 3 cards here. I think he had like a 4-card hand. He does check his top deck, which is actually a POW, so that was really good. That would have been his top deck, so let's just shuffle that up and hopefully he doesn't draw it. And Overrun does take the knockout again on the bench Voltorb. I'm going to go down to 1 prize, putting the active Dark T-Tar at 1. It'll put it at 40 HP remaining at 80. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be, I'd really have to get lucky off these prizes here. Let's see if I could get it. So he's going to see 3 cards. I see 2. I go ahead and announce Overrun, killing the Voltorb, going on to 1 prize. This is it. If he gets a POW this turn, he wins. If I got fire energy on my turn, I win. So let's see what happens here. So his T-Tar has 80 damage on it, 40 HP. He could grind. He currently could grind for 30 damage, killing my active Pokemon. He does find a special dark, so this is huge because if I don't get the fire energy and he doesn't have the POW, it looks like, because he would have just slammed POW. He now Spinning Tails, killing my active and putting 20 on my bench. Houndoom has 70 HP. So now he's a spinning. If I can't kill this T-Tar, he just Spinning Tails again to kill my bench Houndoom for his last prize. Killing my active Arcanine, he takes 2 prizes. We're both at 1 prize. So I'm going to go ahead and promote here. If I got the fire energy off my prizes, I win. The chance he's willing to take. I hate to break it to you guys. If I had it, I would have slammed it. Unfortunately, that's not what I drew off my prizes here. So I promote my 2 energy Arcanine. all I have is Overrun. Lunatone has 60 HP. I'd have to Overrun 3 times to kill that. I also kill the active Pokemon by using it before that anyway. He's a spinning tail away from game. He would kill my bench Houndoom, doing 20 damage to it. So looks like this one's over. Yeah, I just attack. I say Overrun, and he just spinning tails. I flip over my last fire just to show you what it is. It's the last fire. He takes the dub. Dio goes 1-0 with PowTar. I'm currently 0-1 with Arcanine. And that was a great game. I played poorly. He played really good. He capitalized on my misplays and my energy management. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be posting up my future rounds in this. Again, I'll make a video on the list I played as well. It's not my list. A friend of mine gave it to me. I'll give credit to him. But again, if you guys are interested in playing these old format tournaments, please join our Discord. I'm going to post the link in the description below. Please join and, you know, have fun with us and play some games. And hope you guys enjoyed. And please subscribe and like and comment the videos what you guys think of the match. Maybe you guys saw some misplays that I didn't catch. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And until next time, thanks for watching, and see you guys later.